Hey everybody, Brian Hunt here with you again. In this video, we're in a little bit different place. I'm in my not so great hotel room on the road right now for a couple video shoots. And I just wanted to jump on here quick and show you guys the method that I use for transferring footage after a shoot. And this is an extremely important step to take, okay? So this video, again, is just gonna be on the tools that I use to transfer, and there is some specific tools that I do use, and we're gonna get into those right now. So today, I was shooting a corporate thing that was more of an instructional training video type thing. Not super exciting, but cool location, cool kind of contracting, construction work going on. And I'm doing the same thing tomorrow. Next day I'm going on to another shoot, next day I'm going on another shoot. So a lot of times when you're doing shoots, you're gonna be able to transfer your footage. If you're doing jobs like this, like I'm doing, where it's yourself or maybe yourself in a small crew, a lot of times you are doing the transfer yourself. In some situations, if you're on a bigger set, if you're on a commercial set, if you're on a film set, you'll usually have a DMT, a DIT, DMT, DIT, a person that is just dedicated to doing transfers. They handle a lot of stuff. They handle the backup. Sometimes they're doing some quick color correct and they're showing dailies and rushes on set. This is more for, you know, if you're a videographer, whatever you call yourself, if you call yourself a cinematographer, a videographer, video dude, video gal, whatever. This is kind of the method that I have came up with, or not came up with, the method that I use with some specific software that can really save your butt, okay? So, and how I say save your butt is that if sometimes you've transferred things wrong, or you didn't transfer all your files, or you didn't see if files were corrupt, and you get back to that later, or you give it to a client, that can cause some big issues. So step one, I've talked about these in videos in the past about backing up your projects and backing up things. Big deal, at least 2 hard drives. So I have 2 different hard drives here, okay? I have one for my client. I have one that I'm backing up myself. I'm gonna be giving this to them. I'm also keeping a copy of this. When I get back to my editing suite, my home office, my home studio, I will be transferring this to our QNAB, our NAS, as an extra backup, which I'll keep for them for ongoing for a long time, just in case. But always 2 pieces of media at least. And ideally, when you're done with this, you're gonna give this to another person. So you're in 2 different places. So for some reason, maybe I get robbed or somebody breaks into my sketchy hotel room that I'm in now and steals the stuff. You wanna have your media in at least 2 places, and ideally 2 separate places, because this is really, your media is your most valuable things that you have from the shoot. So I have these cards off the FX6. I have some cards I need to transfer off the A7S III that I'm filming with right now, and some drone stuff. But I'm just gonna show you one card, but this would be the same process if you have shot, you know, stuff on GoPro, stuff on, you know, multiple cameras, on drones, if you have SD cards, CF Express cards, external hard drives, that like a Blackmagic camera. This would be the same process, and you could use the same steps. But I'm just gonna show you guys through one of these. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plug in my drives. They are gonna show up on the desktop. I'm gonna plug in my card reader, and I'm gonna open up one of my favorite apps. And for just full disclosure here, guys, they haven't asked me to do this. They're not paying me anything to do this. There's been no contact with them at all, but this is an app called Hedge for Mac. I don't know, I think maybe they're making a PC version now. I'm not sure. So Hedge is this super awesome, basically offloading software, as you can see here. It's really simple. And it does what they call a checksum verification. A checksum verification is, it checks to match that what is on the card is actually on your drive and exactly the same. And the other great thing with this is that what I'm going to show you here is that you can transfer to multiple drives at the same time. So if I had 5 drives plugged in, I could be transferring to all 5 drives. Obviously, it's going to slow down your transfer a little bit. I'm going to select 2 of my drives to transfer to at the same time. So I'm backing up the 2 drives right away. And it's going to do an exact image of both of them on both drives, that what's on the card. Also, it's going to verify that it is transferred properly. And I don't know how it works, but it does work faster than the Finder. I've done some tests with this before. If you were just to transfer it off your card into a hard drive just through the Finder level on a Mac, Hedge works quicker. Okay, so you can see here now, so this card has it. You can see how much space has been used on it. It's been 72 gigs. And I'm going to pick, I want it to go to this destination and this destination, these two drives, okay? And then within here, I'll click on this drop down. I'm going to say project folder. I'm going to go browse. I'm going to create a new folder. Great. I'm going to make a subfolder within that. This is my FX6 card 1. Okay. Now, I've done that on the first drive. This is a cool thing. I like this feature a lot. All I have to do here is say, hey, where do I want to put this? FX6 card 1. It will automatically create those other folder structures onto this other drive. Perfect. And all I have to do is say, add to the transfer, and you will see it transferring. So it's saying now 8 minutes. 8 minutes to transfer these all. This is through USB-C. USB-C 3 or USB 3. Those USB-C connections, they're fast. It's like a Thunderbolt 3, USB 3 2.0. I don't know what they're called. And I really don't care. They're just a faster USB Thunderbolt connections that you get on the Macs. That they basically only have those connections on the Mac. Anyways, that's transferring now. The next step, I'm going to show you when this is done transferring. It's another tool that I use just to check out the images, make sure everything's there. While we're waiting, I do have another little trick that I'd like to show you. So this is in my case that I have for my memory cards, for my CF Express Type A cards. And I use some other SD cards in here as well. So I have this case like this, and you're going to see this gaffer tape that I have up top here. I have some couple. I like using these orange ones here. So this is a card that's been shot, and I need to take it out of the camera to put another card in to keep going, or if I've filled up both my cards. And I want to make sure, as we keep going throughout the day, that I don't accidentally put this back in the camera and reformat it, or somebody else does that because they think it's just another card to use. I'm putting it back in the same case. So there's ways you could do that. You could have a separate case that's just for your used cards, or another way to put those in. I've seen people do that before. What I do is I take this, I take a little piece of this tape, and I put it over the part where you can sensors of the reader or the card itself. And then when I put that into the case, I put it in backwards. So I'll put it in so it's back up. So I know that's been a used card, not to use it again, and this needs to be transferred. Another step you can do, we will sometimes do, is if you have a little pen with you, a little marker with you, just marking, you know, a title on FX6 card 1, A7S card 1, FX3 card 3, you know, stuff like that. Just makes it quicker when you get back to the process of transferring the footage, so you know what it is. But this is a good way to just kind of make sure you don't reuse a card and format a card before you transfer it. It may have happened to me before, but we're not going to talk about it. Boom. There we go. Transferred. Completed. Another cool feature with this software is that if you had multiple card readers connected to your system, you know, on my Mac Pro here, I could also have an SD card plugged in here. I could be transferring that at the same time to separate folders to both locations on the hard drive. So now I have that done. I'm going to show you my next software that I like to use. Again, full disclosure, no affiliation with this at all. I just like using this software a lot, and it's called Kyno. And Kyno is a software that lets you review clips. It works with all different formats of stuff. And some people might think, okay, well, you can use VLC player, you can use QuickTime, but those things always have a little bit of issues, and there's also not, there's way more features within this. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video about Kyno, because I could do a video separately on this. I've been thinking of that. You can add metadata to your images or to your videos and export that with the metadata. I use it a lot for taking files, so looking through a whole bunch of stuff, and say I'm going to be working with an editor, but I know there's specific shots that I really liked, or I need to get files to somebody and I want to convert them from MXF files from FX9, or something like that off of an FX6, or an MPEG-4 file off of an A7S3, or BRAW, and I want to convert that to ProRes for them to work with. I can do that well with this. I can do an in and out point. I can add a lot to it, bunch of cool stuff. And it's just like, it's quicker than doing that in Premiere, because you might be saying, well, you can do all that stuff in Premiere. This is just, it's quicker and better. So if you go into here, I can go look at this drive, one of the drives I have here, and I can go to this thing here, and then I can go, I want to drill down on all the folders with this little button up here. This is going to show me everything that's on this card, okay? It's going to go through and it's going to show all this stuff, and I can preview through the card, and it's just a great way, another way to just check that everything that you shot is transferred properly. This is just another step that I take to make sure that, okay, the stuff that's on the card itself is actually here and it's playing back properly. Maybe stuff went from one card to another card. Maybe it's like 2 clips and you didn't realize that, you thought it was all on one card. This is a way you can catch that, to make sure if you transfer all the footage that you had. I've had situations happen like that before, where it's like I'm missing the last 3 takes, whatever we did, and it's like, oh, the one card filled up and it transferred to the other card, but I thought we just shot one card because the other card was so, it was like 3 gigs of space used on it. Doing something like this and just double checking your work, or double checking that you've transferred stuff properly, is a great way to do it. So it will show up all the stuff on here, and then you can go through and you can play these clips. You can play back different speeds of the clips. You can, again, do all these different things with it. I will do, if you want me to do another video, I probably will do one on this, because I really love this software. I'll do one on Kyno. Now Kyno, if somebody from Kyno watches this and they reach out, or somebody else who uses this software comments on this, yes, you can use Kyno to actually do just what I did with Hedge, where you can use it to offload from a card and it will do checksum verification. I just had some issues with it with the software. Maybe they fixed it, but I just use Hedge because I found it simple and I already have it. So I use that. Maybe I'll do some other tests later. Maybe somebody from Kyno wants me to test this again. But my method is just using Hedge and then Kyno to look at the images and check stuff that way, and have a visual representation that I have transferred the right stuff over. I do have to say that both of these software are paid software. I think there's a free version of Kyno, and I forget what the limitations are. Maybe it's just a trial. Hedge, there's a free trial with it. I think you can transfer so much stuff, but they're not very expensive software. And for me, I use them all the time, like almost every time I shoot. So they're valuable for me, and Kyno I use even more than that. I can get across the street and I can go to the local bar there, have some dinner, have a couple beers, a couple PSPs, post-shoot pints, very important to have. I can do that when I have more time, because I had software that worked quicker to transfer my footage over. So it's a quick video for you guys. Sorry for the noise. It's using a little shotgun mic on this camera here, and there he goes, turns off there now. The air conditioning, the fridge, beautiful backdrop in this beautiful hotel room. So we'll see you guys. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys use for methods for transferring? Is there other tools that you use to offload your footage, to check your footage? Let me know what we would like to see in upcoming videos. If you'd like me to do a video more in depth on Kyno and how to use it and how it can work for you guys. And please like the video if you like it. Please give me a thumbs up. Please think of subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content. And we'll check you guys in the next one.